Welcome to head coach David Shaw's post-game press conference. We will begin with a opening statement from Coach Shaw.
Thank you. Obviously not the result we wanted tonight. Didn't play well enough to get the result. We had a couple of guys get banged up, down to one of our backup tackles before the game started and during the game. That's not an excuse. Our guys came out, they fought hard. We've got to find a way to start better, start faster. Defensively, second half of these games, we've played really well defensively. We've gotten stops. We've made some big plays. We've had pass deflections. First half, especially the first quarter, we've given up too much. Offensively, it's tough to get going. We got to find a way to start faster in all phases to give ourselves a chance to stay competitive. When our quarterback had time, made some big time throws. The guys made some big time plays. Casey Filkins played really hard, fought for every yard. Defensively, they had a tough scheme and really good players. But this is first few games for our season have not been what we expected. Have not been what we want. There are some things that we have options to do that we're going to look at. But I like the way our guys fight. And all the way to the end, even after replacing a couple of guys, our guys fight all the way and come back down. So, still impactful play. We lost the first 3 games of our conference schedule. We're going to be better by the end of the year than we are right now. That's the stance that we're taking. We've got the guys to do it. We got to get healthy and then come back and we're to play our best football of the year in our home.
Thank you. Now, please raise your hand on the Zoom for questions for Coach Shaw. We'll start with Kevin.
Hi, Kevin Borba, Fan Nation. Coach, I was just wondering what the message to the locker room is after losing these past 3 games in the way that you guys did.
Yeah, pretty simple. There's a separation between those 3 teams that we played and us right now. It doesn't have to stay that way by the end of the year. We're a team that can grow and play better than we've played. The turnover bug got us again. And it's not it's some of our top players. Ben Urosic's got the ball and give him some opportunities to catch the ball and run and fumble the ball. So much like Casey a week ago and EJ the week before that. Too many fumbles, too many turnovers, too many bad plays for us. It's a ridiculous thing to say, but if you look at our positive plays, you see a really good football team. You look at our negative plays, and you don't see a good football team. So that's a big thing: is cleaning up our turnovers, getting healthy, and find a way to utilize the talent and ability that we have.
Thank you, Kevin. Troy.
Real quickly, first off, any initial word on Barrett Miller?
Most likely he'll be out for a few weeks.
Okay.
But we'll have a final word on that sometime this week, but don't expect him back next week.
Okay. It seemed like in the second half, and you hinted at it a little bit offensively, the pace quickened a bit, the execution level picked up a bit. Were there different points of emphasis offensively in the second half than there maybe might have been in the first half?
Not really. Our execution was better. We started the game off as soon as we lost Barrett Miller first series. We tried to throw it quick. We tried to get it out fast. We tried to run the ball to take some pressure off of our tackles. We just did a better job executing it later than we did earlier. We called a lot of the same plays. We repeated those plays and actually got more positive yards. So we've talked all the time about, not being a scheme team, but being an execution team. And we called the same plays, repeated through some of those plays 3 or 4 times, and we just executed much better kind of at the end of the first half and then midway through the second half also.
Thank you. Peter.
With the 3-game losing skid right here and just kind of knowing what's on the schedule the rest of the way, does that make next week's matchup with Oregon State a must win?
No. Every game is important. Every game is vital. Get a chance to come back home and play in front of our crowd. So I'm looking forward to.
Thank you, Peter. Ben?
Kind of going off that, just how much do you think it might help or will help you guys to return home and play in front of that energy after 2 tough road games against 2, ranked opponents? Just how much do you think you guys could benefit from, a home stretch here?
Yeah, that would be great. Coming home will be great. Hopefully Miles Hinton will be back. That's what we're really hoping on. Hopefully a couple more guys will get healthy. They got banged up today. But yeah, looking forward to coming home, looking forward to sleeping in our own beds and, getting after Oregon State 1 week from tonight.
Thank you, Troy?
Yeah, you mentioned in your opening statement that you have options that you're going to be exploring here. Could some of those options maybe have presented themselves, particularly in the final 7 minutes when we saw some of the reserves start to get more playing time in this game?
No. Nope. We just got some guys in the game, which is great. We've got our 2 young quarterbacks got a chance to go out there and show that they can be efficient. Moody Rubin coming back in and make another big play down the field. Some of our young backs, our young offensive linemen got in the game, young tight ends. So we've got talent and ability, especially in our young guys. So it's good to see those guys go out there. But some of the things that we're talking about, some schematic things, leaning on our strengths, and mostly finding a way to start games faster. Got to start games faster than we've been starting them offensively, defensively as well.
Thank you, Kevin?
Coach, how much does losing the offensive lineman that you have kind of affected, what plays you're able to call during the course of a game?
Well, I'm not going to give you a percentage, but when your starting offensive lineman can't play, your call sheet shrinks to the level of what your least experienced offensive lineman can do. So I don't want to put a young man out there and give him things that he's not prepared to do. Thankfully, Coach Hefner's done a great job. Our 2s get a lot of reps, so we know what they're ready for. So if somebody goes down, hey, we know what our guys' strengths are. So we stayed within that. And like I said, it hampers us to a certain degree because it constricts what we can do. But at the same time, there's still things that are available to us. And as was said earlier, we executed a little bit later better than we did early. So it's an execution game, and no matter who's healthy, we know our guys, we know what they can do. It's our job to give them opportunities to go out there and be successful.
Thank you, Ben?
Yeah, just a little more on just the slow starts. Just what do you think has accounted for that, and just what really is going to be the key to making sure next week and going forward, you guys, start off stronger and don't get yourself don't dig yourself into holes, basically.
Well, the thing for us, honestly, a couple things. One, like the last, might have been all 3 games. We lost the coin toss. The other team deferred, so we're getting the ball by their choice right from the beginning, and haven't scored. Inefficient at the beginning of the games. I don't know if it's nerves. I don't know what the issue is. Execution has been poor. When we did drive down the field, second drive against USC, we turned the ball over. So that's part of it, is being able to finish those drives. When we do execute early in games, putting too much pressure on the defense, going 3 and out and then punting and giving them good field position. So bottom line is we got to start faster. We got to get off the field. We had a couple 3rd downs, opportunities to get off the field on defense. We didn't. Some of our 3rd downs early on the offensive side, we didn't convert. So a lot of things we got to talk about as far as how we start games.
Any other questions for Coach Shaw? Troy?
Yeah, what went right and what could have gone better in defending Bo Nix?
Yeah, the biggest thing is if you give him a clear path to the end zone, he's going to outrun a lot of people. And we've seen that over the last few years watching college football. He's a heck of an athlete. The times we gave him a clear path to the end zone, hey, he took off and the kid's got speed. The times that we didn't, the time we had a guy in his face, he gets all he can and he gets down. He stepped out of bounds a couple times. He saw guys coming at him and he protected himself like he should. He got down. So that's the thing, is making sure that we keep guys in front of him. And we didn't do that enough tonight. He gets out. He's got speed, he's got size, he's got athleticism. it's hard to bring down.
Last question will go to Peter.
I think you mentioned after the USC game, team's performance being something like a B+ without the turnovers, B- with. This point now, how would you assess and grade the team on the season?
That's a good question. Right now, I wouldn't put us in the B range. I wouldn't give us a grade right now until I watch the film. I like our fight. I like the way that we scrapped, but we allow teams to get too far ahead of us before we get going on either phase. So a lot of things for us to look at.